Hi guys, this video is about tendon capacity and what that actually means. So if you've followed us for a while now, you'll often hear us talk about the capacity of the Achilles tendon to cope with load or with training. And I'm not sure it's always clear to people what we mean when we say that. So I want you to think of capacity as strength of tissue. So when you run, your bones, your muscles, your tendons, everything has a certain strength or capacity to cope with load, forces. They will have a certain endurance capacity, so how long you can continue for. And whenever we do activity, that stimulates our capacity to increase. So when you do exercise and you train yourself, you're increasing your capacity of all your tissue in your body to cope with load. If you just lie around on the couch, the capacity of your tissues to cope with load decreases. Now, what happens to an Achilles tendon when it's injured? You can see from that graph, at the level of your injury, or when just before you injure yourself, you may have a capacity of that tendon to do this much training and this much load. So you can run hills, you can run quite long distances. As soon as you injure the tendon, the capacity, the strength of it decreases. So now a normal run that you would normally easily do suddenly flares it up. And it's because that tendon is now not strong enough to cope with it. It doesn't have the capacity to cope with a load from training that you want to do. So what can one do about that? That's why a carefully graded strength training program is so important. Because if you just lie around and let it rest, the pain will decrease slightly because you're not irritating the tendon. But as soon as you try to train again, it will come back because you've not actually changed anything in the strength of the tendon through just resting. You need to strengthen it. Now, I often get people telling me on social media that, oh, they've tried Achilles strengthening exercises and it's made their pain worse. Well, it's likely because they were too difficult or they weren't the right things for you. And that while your capacity of your tendon to cope with load was there, the exercises were at that level. So it was way too much for the tendon to cope with. So if you look at this graph, when we look at an Achilles training program to strengthen your Achilles back up, we start at the bottom at its current capacity. So step one of our treatment online is always to determine what your capacity of that tendon is today. So we can set the exercises at the right level. And then we increase it slowly, the difficult level as well as the intensity of it, with little tiny blocks. You can see there with a magnifying glass. It's tiny steps you give. Because if you go above the capacity by too big a step, you will actually injure the tendon again and you're back to step one. So you've got to gradually increase it, but do it according to how the tendon reacts to your treatment regime. So have a look at our website. We talk a lot more about exercise and different exercises for Achilles tendinopathies in there, but our YouTube channel also has more videos on that. I know Ali has just done a whole set about different exercises for Achilles tendinopathy. But also have a look at our website if you want to know more about the online treatment for Achilles injuries. You're welcome to message me or send me an email. But if you've got any questions about capacity, feel free to ask them in the comments. Take care.